able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's...
And welcome to Superwomen Live on this Sunday night at 24 minutes to 11. Got another special guest in the studio that we will introduce in just a moment. Of course, Superwomen Live, the official show of the Melbourne Vixens and Netball Victoria. In this week's edition, proudly presented by the Melbourne Vixens premier partner Jason Betting, helping the Melbourne Vixens rest and recover. Thank you to Adrian and all the boys from Soccer Anchor. It's going to be a huge morning's EPL commencing in about an hour and 25 minutes time. We'll keep an eye on live Formula One action going on at the moment. We're 23 laps in through of 66. We'll also wrap up what's been a big weekend's footy, of course, finishing tomorrow night when St Kilda take on Carlton. Now, the Melbourne Vixens will be back on home soil at 12 midday next Sunday, the 20th of May. They'll take on New Zealand's top-ranked team, the Northern Mystics. Let's welcome them back with an even bigger crowd. Purchase your tickets through Ticketek now to secure your spot in the action, and you've also got a chance to win 5 of them tonight, as we've done each week, giving away a few of these. If you'd like to call and give your assessment of the Melbourne Vixens game against the Swifts this afternoon, or SMS questions that you've got for Madison Browne, who we're about to introduce, 0433 98 11 16 is the SMS number, or you can call us 9429 11 16. Well, first time this season, unfortunately, the Vixens going under 55 to 52. Bit of a role reversal. This time they got the fast start and unfortunately got reeled in, but 6-1, still sitting in a good position and get to be back at home for the next few weeks. Madison Browne, we spoke to you from New Zealand last week. Great to have you in the studio.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to finally meet you face to face, and don't think I can ever get sick of that intro. It's pretty cool.
I like it. It's very, very snazzy, that's for sure. But of course, 2 games have been played since we last spoke. Beating Canterbury Tactics last week, and then unfortunately getting beaten. But looking at today first, as the game swung a little bit in the middle stages of the second quarter. Have you had a chance to sit down in as a group and I guess pinpoint where that happens?
Yeah, I mean, the first quarter, 21 goals is the best start we've had for the whole year. So that was obviously really, really good. But then to only get 8 in the second, we really didn't put down the foot. And they just came in and they had to step up. They made a few crucial changes and things like that, and we just didn't adjust. So yeah, we've sat down and talked about it, and really great start to us. But you need to make sure that you keep rebuilding every quarter. Has
that been the main area of focus? Because as I said, it's been different to previous weeks. Against the Magic and Queensland, it went the other way. It was a slow start and you had to fight back. Has it been a message, I guess, just purely consistency across the game? Yeah,
I mean, I think even in our first 3 games of the season, we could put a good half together, but struggled to put the 4 quarters. So, our starts are something that we've been trying to improve on from those 2 close matches against Magic and Firebirds. But, it's about continuing that, and now it's getting really down to business, and each game's so crucial to win. So, and you really want to keep building that in down to the finals end of the season. So, yeah, we've got a bit of work to do on the training track this week, that's for sure.
I know teams don't like to, put forward excuses, losses. I guess they like to learn from them and move on. But as we were discussing off air, I think it's you've been at home twice across 7 weeks, coming back from New Zealand on a Monday game as well, so a short turnaround. Was there any level of fatigue that you could sense across the group after what's been a pretty demanding run?
No, I think actually our preparation into the week was pretty good. We had a couple of days of recovery that we were allowed, and we only had 1 court session for the week, which probably is a bit of a, I don't know, it's not our usual routine. We usually hit the court twice, so that probably stuffed us up a little bit. But yeah, you're right, no excuses really. At the end of the day, you got to get out there and perform your best, and we just weren't good enough on the day.
When it's netball, you'll hear from Benny in Hillside. Of course, Benny Carbonaro says, Maddie, never forget the good old days when you were playing with Shea Bolton, Chelsea Tregear and Basher Howard for the Kestrels, cold Friday nights out at Waverley.
Yeah, that's a few years ago. Actually, a lot of people are asking, where's this centre wing attack combination of Chelsea, who used to be Nash, now Tregear, and myself, and it comes back to those days out at Kestrels. So yeah, it's good to be I guess, working on that again because it's good to have that versatility.
Spoke to, obviously, Chelsea Tregear a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, a smart cookie. She's a doctor and obviously working in podiatry with feet.
Yeah,
loves
feet.
mentioned she's treated a lot of you girls. Have you taken in her services to recover? Or?
Oh, well, surprisingly, she touched my feet up on the weekend in Sydney.
Okay.
She does a great job. So, yeah, thanks, Chels.
Very good.
Just no bunions or anything like that. Just given a nice little fix up. But she loves feet a little bit too much. I think it's a bit odd.
Now, Bianca Chatfield, how did she go? First game, obviously she only missed a game, but was a little bit sore in the lead up to that match. Went off briefly and then was able to come back on. How did she go?
Yeah, after the game we didn't know, I guess, soreness or anything that she mentioned. So, yeah, I'm hoping that she pulls that well, but I guess the test will be tomorrow morning. But, yeah, she was great getting out there. Obviously, her first training session for the week, she was fine. So, yeah, it's great to have our captain back on court. She's obviously a very big inspiration to our group. So, yeah, glad to have her back.
What was it like last week? I think she hadn't missed a game since 2009, I'm pretty sure. And obviously she's very vocal. She's the leader of the team. Obviously you played very well, but what's it like out on court without her?
Yeah, she's a huge presence in our team and really inspires us all, mainly with her actions and obviously her words in our halftime, quarter-time breaks and things like that. So, yeah, we did miss her a lot and noticed that she wasn't there. But I think the great thing about our team is we've got some great people in that defence end that had a chance to step up and opportunities were given, and it just showed how much depth we have in our team.
It's been a big year for you as well, obviously, with a lot of Australian representation. Best on court in the last game, the deciding game for Australia in the Constellation Cup, beating New Zealand in Melbourne. Then, obviously, in the Vixens leadership group, played your 50th game. And then, obviously, without Chatfield, heading overseas to New Zealand as a leader within the side as well. Would have been interesting for you too.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, in New Zealand, they only like the one named captain on court. And I was luckily, I think, Browne before Tregear, so I think that's why I got the gig. But yeah, there's a little bit pressure on, and
I'm
making
sure there was more to it than that.
Yeah, having to inspire the girls and with some nice words and things like that. But yeah, I loved the challenge, and yeah, it was a good win. So 100% record as a captain, and can't complain. Hey.
Yeah, you'll put your hand up, make sure that you get the comfortable games, and think, well, I've just got to maintain my record, and maybe tap Bianca on the shoulder and say,
not today.
Tap Bianca on the shoulder and say, look, you've come back, and what gives?
Well, I actually did say that to her when she went and do the coin toss. I said, you realise I won last week? And she's like, oh, pressure's on, and she lost. So
the Swifts obviously got a smaller combination in attack. They're a relatively short side, a little bit more unpredictable. Obviously, the sides you've played so far have all had the taller goal shooting option. They go long to the post. Aiken, Borrego, Bassett, obviously Van Dijk, and these sorts of players as well. Was it something that was perhaps a little bit more difficult to adjust to, that they are a unique sort of a team?
Yeah, I guess it's. I think you're right. It's something that hasn't been thrown at us over the last couple of weeks. Has been the typical tall goaler and the short zippy one out the front. So for them to have the shorter moving goalers, I think you're right. It took us a little bit of time to adjust. But when you're playing at elite level, you've got to have different things up your sleeves, different setups, and be able to adjust. And as I said, that's just what we didn't do.
You get another look at them in front of the vocal crowd in Melbourne in a couple of weeks. We'll get to Tony in a moment. SMSs coming through we'll get to as well. If you keep SMSing through your questions, good opportunity to win a double pass to next week's game against the Northern Mystics, who are reigning grand finalists. They had a win today as well, so they're a pretty handy side. A couple of others as well. Obviously, Stanaway and Wilson played last week. Sarah Wall in the last 2 weeks has spent time at wing defence. A few different things as well. How did the youngsters, Stanaway and Wilson, go last week against the Tactics?
I think both of them really stepped up to the plate. Casey came off and was like, oh my goodness, it is so fast. And Michaela, obviously, she's been around with us for a couple of years now, and just wanting that chance to get out on court, and definitely made the most of it when she got it. So yeah, it was really, really good to have them have their first taste of the 2012 season on court with us.
On that, the pace thing, obviously it's going to be a big step up. You've then gone the next step as well and played for Australia. How much of a difference, can you measure it even in percentage terms, how much quicker it is again when you play for Australia?
Oh, I wouldn't know, but I think it's more even the physical presence. Not to sound bad, but like in most like ANZ teams, there's, maybe 5 good players, or, and then there's like in the levels, there's top players, there's international players, then there's the other mix within the ANZ teams. So, but when you're at the international level, they're all at the top of their game. So it's a physical and also a mental battle. But yeah, I guess it would be another maybe 10 to 15% extra in fast pace.
Does the use of Sarah Wall at wing defence sort of help even fill, not that it's been a void, but without Renee Helen and just getting that speedier option in defence as well?
Yeah, I guess, myself being one of the shorter wing attacks,
Yeah.
it's really hard to play against someone your own speed and height at times. So I think that just provides another good option for us. But, at the same time, our taller defenders, I know myself, I struggle against really high hands over the ball. So the fact that we can switch them on and constantly keep the opposition guessing, as I said, shows our depth, and I think it's a really good swing on and off to just catch them off their guard.
Now, we mentioned you've had a big season, a big year in regards to everything that's happening. Statistically speaking, for the listeners, Maddie leads the league by a mile in goal assists, but also in centre pass receives. You must be pretty happy, I guess, with the way it's going for yourself personally.
Well, as a wing attack, they're the two stats you want to be up at the top of, so surely I'm hopefully doing something right there. But yeah, look, I don't ever look and go, I have to get so many, but as I said, if I'm playing my role and assisting those goalers as much as I can and making it easy for the centre pass to get it down in our attack end, I'd like to see a few more intercepts there, here and there, but with my height I'm a little bit vertically challenged, but that's okay.
First, not to put you down, first Vixens player to come in that's actually shorter than me. So,
there you go.
Makes me feel a little bit better.
No surprise there though.
Tony is in Craigieburn. Good evening, Tony.
Yeah, good day, guys. How are we going?
Not too bad.
Yeah, look, that's the way. Look, just a quick question. I coach an under nines young girls netball team. Just wondering if I can just get some opinions there. Are we getting a little bit pedantic? The umpiring in that league, they're trying to umpire the young girls as it is like a normal older age group game. Just want to know what your opinion is. Is it better to basically umpire these games as a proper game and get these girls used to the rules, or are we taking away the fun element possibly by putting the pressure of full rule netball games at this early age?
Yeah, I think you're right in both of those comments there, because I know growing up, the umpires, I think it's great that they do pull you up for your steppings and your held balls and things like that, because otherwise you're really not going to learn at that young age. But at the same time, there's the times to let them go and, just let them play and enjoy it. So, yeah, I think, I don't know whether umpires these days are actually being trained to call more because I guess they're learning at the same time as well. So, it's a hard call to nail that one. But, I think just let it a little bit slide. But also, make sure if you do call at an under-9s level, when you do call something, explain to them what it's for so they do understand and they can learn the game a little bit quicker.
And, Tony, I know it may be under-9s level, but I guess you've probably been umpiring for a while. What do you find to, I guess, be the most difficult thing to interpret? Is it 3 feet? Is it some of the technical rules, like obviously away hand defending and that sort of stuff? Is there anything in particular that stands out as being the most challenging?
Yeah, I'm actually the coach, mate. So for me, it's just a different like AFL in a way. It's different interpretations of different umpires, and what we've got is a situation where the girls get a bit of a flow on going, and then they get pulled up, and it's like, well, what do we get pulled up for? Like last week that was okay, and this week it's not, and it's just a little bit of inconsistency. I mean, like I said, the umpires are learning too. Yeah. And as much advice as the umpires can give the kids is good. I mean, my daughter plays too, and she goes, "Dad, it's really frustrating because they get pulled up," and I say, "Well, look, umpires' decisions is what stands, and just try and learn from it and move on."
Yeah, I think as you said, when they get the flow on, that's the times to just go, okay, maybe let a little bit slide unless it's really, really obvious, like 5 steps or something like that. But in times when there is the time to maybe pull it up when it's a bit of a slower pace to make them learn, that's the way to go. But Tony, that's what we deal with every week with having New Zealand and Australian umpires. You've really got to adjust, and it can be really frustrating sometimes. So even at the under-9s level.
Tony, hold the line. You can head along to Sunday's game against the Mystics. I play mixed netball and I find it immensely frustrating. Even there, the difference in interpretations.
What?
Yeah, exactly. It's incredible. A few SMSs that we'll get to after this. If you'd like to win a double pass to the clash with the Mystics this Sunday, send an SMS question through to Maddie or give us a call. The number 94291116 or SMS is 0433 981116. Now, are you a super fan? More than 2,100 super fans have pledged their support for the Melbourne Vixens. That's more than ever before. So join in on the fun. Get your season 2012 Vixens membership membership and show your support as the Superwomen of Netball take to the court. 3-game packages available at melbournevixens.com.au. We may be 7 rounds in, but you haven't had too many home games, so good opportunities for plenty of those to come. We'll take a break and be back with more after this.
Action.
Hi, I'm Madison Browne. I need enough energy to play my best throughout a long, tough match. That's why I choose Swiss Ulti-Boost Liquid Iron. It's a complex formula containing vitamins and herbal extracts to help support healthy blood and iron levels for inner vitality, with natural vitamin C to help increase iron absorption and B vitamins to help maintain energy and stamina. That's why you'll feel better on Swiss.
And cut.
Well, it sounds like a winner, but obviously you've still got a little bit of competition.
Only the public will know if it's a winner, won't they?
Well, how do you feel listening to it? Are you confident?
Oh, well, yeah. I don't know. I don't know whether I could pull off the nice attire like Sonia Kruger, but Tom Harley's been pumping me up as a Swiss ambassador, so that's really nice.
Well, he wears some interesting vests and things like that.
A bit of a cardigan
TV,
wouldn't go astray on me.
That's right, Ricky Ponting as well. But how can people get involved if they'd like to help you get across the line?
Oh, I'd love for them to help me get across the line. Obviously, it goes to a public vote, and you just got to get onto Facebook at Swiss Vitamins, like their page, and then there's obviously 5 contestants that are nominated for the Swiss ambassador role. And vote Maddie. Vote Maddie
You
now.
don't even want to watch the other 4. It doesn't matter, really.
Yes. Yeah, it's all about the Ulti Boost Liquid Iron.
Yes,
because
exactly.
Exactly.
That's what you need. Look how well you're playing. So. Now, if people have ever wanted to travel with the Vixens, they can join them on their first ever supporters tour to Wellington. It's a beautiful city. The Vixens take on the Central Pulse in round 13. When you're not meeting the team or watching them play, you can explore the sights of Wellington. For more information, visit melbournevixens.com.au. So it'd be great to have a few of the Vixens fans along. Off the SMS, Kerry from Surrey Hills, you can give us a call, number ending in 256. We'll take your details. She asked a couple of questions, one of those being, what is your preferred position, centre or wing attack, if you had to choose?
Yeah, I get that a bit these days, but I guess wing attack's probably been my specialist position for the last few years, and I do feel a lot at home and very comfortable in that. But I do like the challenge of centre, and I think players these days have to have the versatility to go between a couple of positions rather than just being, nailed in the one spot. So, yeah, wing attack probably just by a small margin.
Now, Kerry, give us a call. Also, anonymous, number ending in 622, who says, Matty, do you feel pressure these days being the in-form mid-court player of the league? And the second part, what is it like playing against fellow Australian players?
Oh, fellow Australian players always take it up to you. There's always a bit of white line fever out there. You're out there to knock their heads off, but after the game, happy to have a chat. But don't feel pressure at all, really. I just go out there to do my job for the team and play the best netball I can. I always make sure I'm prepared, done my video, done all my recovery, making sure I'm training really well. So, I don't rarely get nervous these days, but I think when I do get nervous, it's great energy and hopefully I use it in a positive way. So,
number ending in 622, and also, Kerry, give us a call. How much video analysis is there these days with opposition sort of tactics and these sorts of things?
Well, at the Vixens, we're really lucky because obviously being partners with the VIS, we have sports science people that come away with us and take all of the video, edit it up, can code it. So if I just want to know or see the defensive setups of the opponents that we're coming up against, they just give me a whole lot of information on that. So yeah, it's amazing how much we do. We do at least one team session a week, and we usually maybe go in our areas like our goaling, centre court and defence. But yeah, there's the technology we have now with iPads. You can travel with it. It is really amazing, and really we can take whatever we want out of the game because our brainiacs are great at what they do.
Now, also Jojo, numbering in 561, give us a call. Who do you think is the hardest team for the Vixens to match up on skill/height wise? Like we mentioned, Sydney or the Swifts are a bit of a tricky matchup.
Yeah, I think we match up really well against Sydney. It's because of that, that Victoria New South Wales rivalry that's been going since we were, under 15s at nationals. And but I guess these days with the tall shooter, we're actually, Jeev is such an informed goalkeeper. She's smashing it up there. So we're really competing against those tall goalers. I think this week against the Mystics, they're a tougher challenge again because they're a different style of play. They've got Catherine Latu, who is a tall and quite a solid goal shooter, but can get on the move and her hands are super quick.
And they're so accurate too. Tutoye doesn't miss.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think they're quite and Magic. But every team this season is always a challenge.
It's certainly tightened up. So Jojo, give us a call, number ending in 561. And an interesting one here, Maddie, if you could change one rule or perhaps relax one rule in netball, is there any that perhaps annoys you? Or?
I think the one that probably frustrates me the most as a wing attack would be maybe advantage contact.
Yeah, I was going to.
The advantage rule can frustrate me a little bit because a lot of the time I do get hit and I do get punched and it's advantage the punch and you're like, really? So that's probably what I'd relax on. But if I could pick a rule, it'd be for the wing attack to shoot a three-pointer. I think I could be a sly, little shooter out the front.
Now, Ray asked a question, what time does the game start? He's coming down from Bendigo. It is midday. Ray, do you have tickets? SMS in yes or no to us as well. 0433 98 11 16. I was watching in the pre-match, they interviewed, it was Kelly Underwood interviewing yourself and Kate Beveridge, and Kate Beveridge nominated you as one of the coach's favourites, and you said that, or I think she said you were third.
Please. Oh, third.
If you are third, who would be the two that would take the cake?
Chelsea Tregear and then Bianca Chatfield. I'm not even close to the top two. I wouldn't even pick that I'm in the top four, but that's fine. I think Kate just thinks because we, being leaders, we do have extra little meetings, so thinks we get a bit of one-on-one attention, but secretly she just wants it. So.
Now, outside the game, you do a bit of primary school teaching. How's that going?
Yeah, it's good. I was doing a little bit of relief teaching as a primary school fill-in, but at the moment I'm doing Cert 3 sport and rec certificates with a program called Training Sense, and a lot of my classes are down in Geelong, so as much as the travel may get to me a couple of times, Geelong's my hometown and I love getting back there and, getting to know some of the kids down there, and I get to watch them play and do some employment as well as the theory work. So it's really good. I love it.
And speaking of Geelong, you do a bit of radio work down there. You're looking at a career in media as you continue to go forward?
Oh, mate, I actually love radio as the form of media. Obviously, my attire tonight states that I like to be a bit comfortable in my Uggies and trackies. But yeah, I do love it. And fingers crossed, maybe down the track once I finish netball, there might be a career there.
Well, you're always welcome amongst us at SEN.
Oh, please,
so
thank you.
We'll keep that in line. Now, obviously, you've had a pretty good run at it as well in the fittest netballer over the journey, and you're leading this year. You're confident. And I guess who are your major rivals? I know Erin Bell's doing pretty well, but are you confident you can take that out? And is there any challenges coming up that might be particularly draining or taxing on you? Yeah,
there's a few coming up. I mean, I love watching the footage that they grab from it. There's some ripper footage, spills and dips and things like that. But I think the challenge to watch out for will be one of the second last ones, because it's getting a bit nail biting down to the points and things like that. And there's laser challenge, and thankfully I have an amazing teammate in Bianca Chatfield who hopefully might help me out in that one.
And just confirming, a few people calling through, the game is midday this Sunday against the Northern Mystics, so the early start, 12 o'clock Sunday at Hisense Arena. Now, a few people asking, I guess, beep test results for you girls. What would be, I guess, the top level performances? I imagine you'd be up there, because a few people wanting to know how that compares to, say, AFL players. I imagine it would be similar. Well,
actually, at the moment, we haven't done a beep test for probably even a couple of years now. We do the yo-yo test, the yo-yo intermittent test, which is obviously 20 metres up and back with a 10-second rest walk period in between. And I think I hold the record, actually, at our club, and for the Aussie Diamonds at about a 19.5. So, yeah, I think rugby-wise, in regards to the yo-yo, I know one of the Western Force boys when I was living in Perth did a 20.1 or something. So we're not far off it. So.
Not bad.
Yeah.
And a few more as well before we let you go. Obviously, looking at some of the off-field stuff as well. Do you have, I guess, a pre-game meal in particular? I know it does emphasise your love for raw foods.
Yep. Yeah, I do like a very unique diet, I guess, with lots of organic, fresh fruit and veggies and things like that. But pre-game match is usually a big breakfast in the morning with maybe some cereal, some toast, and I do have a green smoothie, which everyone goes, what the hell is a green smoothie? Well, it's just pretty much anything green, like spinach, kale, all of those types of things, a few, powders and things like that to help boost my energy, and goes down like a tree.
I read something about an energy ball. What is an energy ball?
Oh, they're just amazing little snacks that I make.
Okay.
It's all like you've got nuts, some crushed up and things like that, dates to hold it together. So gives me all the nutrients I need just in a little ball snack.
And a couple of others. I might have asked you this last week, but I can't remember. Favourite TV show?
Oh, Offspring.
Offspring.
Gotta love it. I hang out for it.
Favourite band, and I guess by extension, do you have a pre-game song that you listen to in particular?
I don't really have a favourite band. I must admit, I'm not obsessed like some One Direction fans out there, but I like a bit of variety. And favourite pump-up tune. Oh, anything that's got a good beat that's, maybe a bit gangster. Me and Jeeva kind of like to roll out the punches every now and again.
Do you use music before a game? Is it something that you will use to pump yourself up?
Yeah, I usually listen to some of it, like obviously in my headphones on my iPod or something like that on the way to the game. But when we get there, we always have some an iPad playing, some music and things like that. So that's always in the change room. Otherwise, it can be pretty quiet and boring. So. And I
asked you last week if you could trade a career in netball for anything, and you mentioned surfing. Do you get much time to actually get out there and surf?
No. Anyone offering lessons, let me know, because I think I could use some.
And one final one as well that a few people have asked off the SMS. Have you modelled yourself on any player in particular growing up as a youngster coming through at Barwon Heads and the like? Have you ever pinpointed someone and thought that's someone I'd like to model my netball career on? Yeah, my idol growing up was Shelley O'Donnell, and I think when I was in grade 6 she gave me a award at a school thing, and I just looked at her and thought, oh my goodness, you are amazing. So and I guess sometimes a lot of people say my style of play is very similar, so I must have been watching the video nice and hard. Now Maddie, thank you very much for coming in. Good luck for the Mystics. Commiserations on the loss, but 6-1 through 7 rounds is certainly a very good start to the season, and a good chance over the next couple of weeks to take on the best side of New Zealand. So another good test, a potential finals opponent, and then maybe get one back on the Swifts in a couple of weeks. Watch out, Swifties. We'll get you at home. Thank you for having me. No worries. We'll take a